Welcome to the Jedi Ranger. I'm JohnBay555, and today I'm continuing my series of MASH retro reviews with Season 4, Episode 7, The Bus. So, to begin with, I think this is actually probably overall one of my favorite episodes in Season 4 of MASH. It's a pretty simple episode. Hawkeye, BJ, Colonel Potter, and Frank, along with Radar, are coming back from a medical conference on the bus, and it breaks down. It's a pretty simple premise, but I think it's a really good episode. It has some good character moments between pretty much almost every single character. We see Frank being his normal self. We see just, the friendship between Hawkeye and BJ. We see Colonel Potter being a level-headed commander, which Frank would not have been. We see Radar being himself. And we also get a surrendering North Korean soldier. Again, it's a pretty basic episode. It's very much a barter episode because they just needed a country road, a place to park, the bus, and 5 of the actors, and that's it. This is practically a barter episode. Not much was needed, and I think it produced a really great episode because the limiting premise of it, I think, really allowed almost to give each character a little bit of a spotlight scene. Especially the ending, especially the different ways each character treated the North Korean soldier who surrendered. Frank is all like, if you do something, I'm going to get you. Hawkeye and BJ is like, yep, whatever. You're good. Okay, yep, we treated your injury. Good, we're going to treat you like a human. Colonel Potter, well, at the end of the episode when Frank conveniently finds some chocolate bars, I'll talk about that in a moment, even though Frank decides not to give one to the North Korean soldier, Potter makes sure to grab 2 so that way the North Korean soldier could get one. And there's also, Radar trying basically to run everything. Not really trying, but does remember, he basically does run the 477, especially back in the first 3 seasons, but here, okay, he can't get the bus to work and he somehow blames himself for that and them getting lost, so he decides to go off on his own and trying to find help. Doesn't work. But when he gets back, that's when he discovers Frank fell asleep on guard duty, keeping an eye on the prisoner, and that he had chocolate bars. So after the North Korean prisoner got the bus started, so thank you to him for that. When Radar is told to make note that they should keep some supplies in the bus, like food and that, he conveniently says, we could just keep a ditty bag with some chocolate bars and not fall asleep on guard duty. And Frank goes, oh, hey, that reminds me. Radar blackmailed Frank. I love that. I think everyone knew Frank fell asleep on guard duty from that. There's also, Frank does at one point in the episode find the 477's walkie-talkie, but there's a problem with it. One, it needs its pail, which is back at the 477, 20 miles away, and it's broken, and apparently when it is working, it only works like a mile or maybe at best. But somehow they do find the other walkie-talkie on the bus, so BJ and Hawkeye decide to play a prank on Frank by getting the North Korean soldier to speak into the walkie-talkie, and Frank's convinced he's now hearing all the enemy's secrets. I do wonder if anyone understands Korean or Chinese, because again, I'm not the best at identifying those languages, and I don't even know if one of those languages was actually being spoken by the North Korean soldier. Tell me what he's saying. Is he actually saying something, or is it gibberish? I want to know, because I don't have an ear for that language, and I can't tell it apart from the other languages in the East Asian area of the world. But again, like I said, it's just a good, fun episode with some good moments. They didn't use the laugh track really at all. Actually, I don't think they used it at all in this episode, and it works. It's so good. You don't need a laugh track. If something's funny, you naturally will generally laugh about it. But I do want to also mention one other thing about this episode. In the MASH Wiki, in the research notes / fun facts section, mentions that Burns is carrying a German World War II MP40. And then whoever left this goes on to say that U.S. Thompsons and Chinese burp guns were the submachine guns used. 1, I think this was taken from the North Korean soldier, and 2, I'm confident that the Soviets captured a lot of German MP40s during World War II. And I know, if I remember correctly, there was one German gun they did repurpose for their own use because they liked it, if I remember my history correctly. But it's entirely possible that to help prop up North Korea, they gave them captured German weapons. So, the person's treating like this could never happen, but weapons do move around during war. Weapons are regularly captured, and sometimes they're not used at all because you don't have ammunition that, but sometimes you do. Like in World War II, after Germany invaded and took over Czechoslovakia, they started manufacturing Czechoslovakian guns, to German calibers. That's a historically documented fact. And if I remember correctly, Germans also basically stole a Soviet gun as well and made their own version of it. So it's not impossible that a German MP40 from World War II would have ended up in North Korea and then captured by Americans. Totally historically believable. Did it happen is a different question, but it is historically possible based off of what we know about history and all that. But that's just the most side point. There's also a scene too. This is just probably one of my favorite scenes in the episode though. Is BJ's peeking over the bus window and Hawkeye just writes Kilroy underneath, which was a very popular graffiti left by American soldiers during World War II, and I just loved its inclusion. But those are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you, always.